guys, it's Melissa. In this video, we are going to work through making window clings using Roland's white window cling film. So we are using the Roland BN-20, BN-20A, the same process works with the BN-20. I have a different video if you are wondering how to use the clear window cling, which can be used on both the Roland BN-20A, you get kind of a stained glass effect, or on the Roland BN-20, which you could print white so you would get a different look. Now, with this window cling is very simple. You are simply going to load the roll of window cling as you normally would, and then you need to set up your design. Now, I am printing QR codes, which can be used for many different purposes. If you have a business or a restaurant, you want to put the hours, or you want to put information such as the menu, or whatever it is where you want to link a QR code, you can print these. So of course you can make window clings with whatever design you want, but this tutorial, we just use this QR code as an example. If you're curious how we set up this custom QR code, which by the way, you might want to give a scan for that. I have a different video on that, and I'm going to link that for you as well, so you can, put them both together. It is a free way to generate QR codes. So the key here is when you make those QR codes, you want to save that design as a PDF. And actually, you don't need to use any other software program to create the cut line, because what we're going to do is make that image boundary, the cut line, right in Versaworks. So we're going to pick right up in Roland Versaworks with importing the PDF. And don't forget, if you are interested in how I generated the QR code, I have a different video for you on that. I just wanted you to see how I made, I actually made a whole set of them, how we nested them and adjusted the size so that they fit nicely and we avoided wasting the material. All right, so let's hop into Versaworks and we'll take it from there. So now we need to bring that QR code into Versaworks. So you're going to have Versaworks open and you're going to go to File, Add Job to Queue, select the queue. I'm just going to pick QA. And then you're going to find the file that is on your computer. Now, again, remember we used a PDF, so we didn't have to go into any other program to add the contour cut lines, because we just want them around the image boundary. So it will add to the end of your queue list. And if you right click and then click Settings, there we go, it will open up the preview. All right, now here it is. If you want to avoid wasting a whole bunch of space, you can actually make duplicates. So the first thing, before we do that, we just want to check where the cut line is. So let's go to the cut controls panel, and I am going to tell it, make sure you're on print and cut as the operation mode, and I'm going to tell it that I want to cut the image boundary. So that is going to put those red dancing ants around the very edge of my design, which is what we talked about that we wanted. So that's all set. Now if we go back to that top tab there, we are able to make multiple copies. So if I adjust the copies, there's 2, 3, 4 are not going to fit straight across. However, if I adjust the spacing and adjust the scale a little bit, I will be able to add one more, and then I will avoid any waste. I'm also going to change the orientation of these to see if that helps at all. Okay, so we do need some spacing there. And then what we're going to do is adjust the scale. So we'll scale these down a little bit, and we will add a 4th copy. Now, if it goes underneath, what we're going to need to do, whoops, we got 5 copies. We just want 4. Oh my gosh, we went to 6. Okay, well, that's fine. We'll leave that for this example. But if we continue to scale down, you will see that eventually they will move onto the same row. All right, let's manually type in the spacing. There we go. And I'm going to adjust the scale to 90. I don't know, my mouse must have got stuck. Okay, so there we go. So now what I actually want to do is I want to add 8 copies so that way we're not wasting any space. So now we have 8 copies, Every single one of them has those cut lines around the edge because we made sure that we set that from the very beginning on the original copy. Now we want to make sure that all of our other settings are correct. So we'll just go down the list here. So from quality, we want to change our media type. So right now we're on generic vinyl. You can either keep it on generic vinyl or you can put it on clear film. Which I like to put it on film when I am printing and cutting on window cling because it's more of a film than a vinyl. I'm going to keep it on standard, and I like to change the color management to sign and display. So from this option here, we'll just change that to sign and display. Come on, my computer's not cooperating. There we go. And then all these other settings should be just fine, okay? So I don't need crop marks, I don't need printer controls, we are not clipping and tiling, so we're all set. So we'll click OK, and then we will once again right click and tell it to rip. So the design will go into the rip area. That'll take a minute or so, you know, just once it's done in the rip, then we will right click and tell it that we want it to start printing. And that will pull it up to the printer panel, and the printing will then begin. All right, so we're ready now. So we can either drag and drop it to the printer panel, or we can right click and just click print. That is my preference. Print count, we just want 1, and you'll watch the status. Right now it's on 0, but it will take a minute or so, and then again the status of that job will begin printing as it sends the data to the printer. Of course, you can now hear the printer going, and the printing will begin. Okay, so once your window clings are done printing, you are all set. These have printed and cut, so then you can just move forward, and you could remove this whole piece here, or I'm just going to peel one up so that you can see what this looks like. All right. So there you have it. That is your window cling. Now, of course, this is printed on white window cling, which is what we wanted to do in this case because it is that QR code. There is also clear window cling, which you can use. It gives more of a stained glass effect. So if you're doing it with QR codes, I would not recommend that method with the BN-20A. Since the BN-20 can print white, if you want to do clear window cling, I would recommend only doing QR codes on clear on a BN-20. But this works perfectly, and then this would be great for, like I said, a storefront's door, or wherever you would want to use a window cling. You could put this on your car if you want, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, lots of different uses for window clings depending on who your clients are, what you're selling, what your little niche is. So that's the way to do it. If you're interested in more videos on how to use the Roland BN-20, I have lots of videos on that. And if you're interested in software type videos, I also have those. Silhouette Studio is what I recommend with Affinity Designer to bring into then Versaworks, and I have a ton, over 400 videos on Silhouette Studio on silhouette use. So if you're interested, check that out as well, and I'll throw the links up top for you. See you guys.